Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Monster Super League video. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a different video. Today we're gonna go ahead and discuss for the 5-star selector what kind of units you guys should get. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is because because of the Sonic collaboration, we are getting actually quite a couple of new people, and a lot of new people have been asking me a couple questions about like what should they do for farming early in the beginning. But I wanted to make this video specifically for whenever we do get our 5-star selector, which, by the way, if you haven't registered for the video, there is a link top right, a video right here to show you where you guys can go ahead and pre-register for your 5-star selector. So make sure to go do that if you haven't already. Remember, we won't get our prizes until like July 3rd probably, or whenever the event actually rolls out. If they have to delay it, I don't think they'll delay it, but if they have to, they'll let us know. But I wanted to show you guys like what 5 stars should you guys get. What are the best RGB 5 stars non-heroic festival units you should get for this? Well, first of all, let me say this before I start. If you already have a unit in mind of getting, or you're missing one unit for that last Evo 3, just go for that first of all. Like, finish your unit, do what you want, because at the end of the day, it's your gameplay experience. You might as well have fun with it. Enjoy what you're missing, or pick whatever unit you want. Now let's go into the Astro Guide and check out the units that you can pick, because there are some more desirable units that you might want to go ahead and pick up, and that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go ahead and check out all the units that you can get, and we're gonna see which ones are really good. So from what I know is you can get Xiao Wujing, you can get Bashi, you can get Hades, Shinobi, Wukong, I don't think Poseidon, Garuda, you can get Indra, Odin, Shiva, Nightmare, Valk, Arthur, and Persephone. Those are the 5-star units, because I believe, yeah, Barona, Sanzang, Omnoji, Artemis, Merlin, Bass, Hohem, and Draka are all, well, Draka's a different kind of rebirth unit, and then the other ones are heroic festival units. But the ones down here, we're gonna go ahead and check them all out, see which ones are probably the best ones to get, and let's get this started. So, out of all the units, you should probably pick Fire Valk. Now, what is my reasoning behind picking Fire Valk? Well, if you're starting off, you're a new player, let's say by the time the Sonic collaboration actually rolls around, that'll be around in 2 weeks or so. You might have started your first contract by then, but you probably won't have too many farming units yet. You might at maximum have maybe a couple water monas. You might have some wood squirrels. You might, if you finished your contract, if you finished your contract, you'll have either your fire Arthur, your water Valk, or your wood Odin. And as good as those units are, you're still gonna need a fire unit for farming. I mean, you might have chosen fire Arthur, and fire Arthur's really good unit for Tower of Chaos. It's a really good unit because it has defense down. But you might also want a unit that'll help you clear waves a lot faster, so you'll be able to farm for the Sonic collaboration a lot quicker. And out of all the units that I could think of, out of all the RGBs, Fire Valk is the one that comes to mind. The reason why I chose Fire Valk is because she has this ability, Morale Boost. She has 100% chance to restore own SP by 50% when attacking. Water Mona has, I believe, 30% SP restoration. I don't even think it's 30%. I think it might be like 20%. SP restore, which, don't get me wrong, if you booked the water Mona, it's actually really good and she's an amazing unit for farming, but you might want something else for farming as well, not just water Mona. Yes, it's 100% chance for 20% SP morale boost, which is really good, but you might want to do something else and go ahead and farm like wood areas. And the best thing for wood areas is a fire unit, and if Fire Arthur is the only unit you really have for farming, you might want to have something else in your arsenal. And the good thing about Fire Valk is she is a unit that you can go all the way till endgame with her. Why I say that is because Fire Evo 3 Valk is a really good unit for defense. She has the morale boost, she has the stun, she's very tanky, and she does a lot, and she does some decent damage. She's a great unit for PvP defense, she's a decent unit for PvP offense. If you build her triple attack, she could be a really decent unit because she's a balance type. You can build her tanky, you can build her attacky, you can build her like glass cannon. You could do a lot of things with her. Plus, she has her leader skill, which in the league help her So if you get her as a variant, that's also really nice for League. She's really good for farming early game. So this is what I was thinking for all the newer players. If you don't have a set goal in mind, if you don't know what you want to do, but you know you want to play the game and you want to farm some stuff, this is probably the best choice out of everyone else. I looked at the other ones. There are other two good choices as well. But I feel like Firevalve is your go-to end game choice as well. Good for early game farming, good for mid game, great for end game, amazing for end game. I use the Firevalve. A lot of people use the Firevalve for their PvP defense teams. Really good. The next unit is actually Water Persephone. Now, Water Persephone is again another balance type unit. She is really good as a healer. She has a 10% heal for max HP, and that's every turn. Then she has an 80% petrify, which is really good for stunning bosses in like Tower of Chaos. She's really good for keeping your team alive for a lot of situations. She's good early game, mid game, and end game. She's a great unit for defense as well. She's a great unit for PvP offense. She's a great unit for farming. If you're having trouble surviving stages, she'll heal up your units so they don't die as quickly. She's great for early game farming any of the dungeons you have to. Again, your team will stay alive longer because that's what she does. She's a really good unit for farming as well. And she's a balance type. Also, if you wanted to, you could build her a little bit with attack. I really don't recommend her because she's a healer more than anything. You would probably build her more all HP just to keep your units alive longer. Again, another good solid unit for the starting players. And because I just have to, for the wood category, I had to pick one of these. I decided out of all the wood units, Wood Nightmare would probably be one of the better units because again she has morale boost, 30% SP restored, and for her active she heals up your units, so she's really good for farming, keeping your units alive, also really good for just building that SP, helping you out a lot. So she's also a really good unit. For the wood category, I actually had to choose between either Wood Nightmare, again I'm looking at their evil choose, this is for new players specifically, and I know Wu Jing is actually not too good of a unit. The wood one is not that good of a unit, but you can always use his evil 2 later on if you didn't want to fully make him level 60, and you could just use him for battle restore early on, battle rush and defense down, which defense down is always great for early game farming, and you can just go ahead and feed him to a different Wu Jing later on. But I feel like Wood Nightmare is just a better choice because even end game, you could really still use a Wood Nightmare. Although Fire Drakas are very dominant in PvP currently, but we don't know if that'll ever change in the future, if they'll nerf Draka again. But Wood Nightmare is still a pretty good unit. So she's still a solid unit. She's still really nice, and I still see people using her to this day. She's a great for PvP stunning. She's great for the morale boost. She's great for healing. So she's a wood unit that I would probably go for if you wanted to pick between wood, water, and fire. And these are for the beginner players if you don't have a set go in mind. Now, for your mid and end game players, if you're going towards more of a Titans team, there's some real obvious choices. But we'll go ahead and look over them. So we have Wu Jing, who at Evil 3 has Attack Down and Courageous Strike. 90% attack down and courageous strike, really good for Titans. He is basically a water Indra, but for Wood Titan. You have Fire Shinobi, the MVP for one of the MVPs for a lot of damage, a great leader skill, and just does really good in Titans. Then you have Fire Wukong, which again, another great fire unit, great for Wood Titan. Amazing leader because of the critical hit damage. It does a lot more damage, especially if you build him 100% crit. Amazing unit, would use 100% for Titans. Then you also have for the water ones, there's some good amount for the water ones too. You have Water Hades with the defense down, Courageous Strike for the Fire Titan, great defense down, great Courageous Strike, really helps out your team. Then you have, like I said, Water Indra, attack down with Courageous Strike, another amazing unit for Fire Titan. And then for the wood, you're kind of honestly lacking a bit. The only thing you know what? I always forget that they made Baji one. So actually, for wood, you do have some options. You have Baji, which has Courageous Strike and Blind, or you have Garuda, who has Weaken and Courageous Strike. When they changed Garuda's first skill to Weaken, it made him such a strong unit for Titans. It is really nice. So there's a lot of good units for Titans. You would pick whatever you want. Personally, I'm probably gonna either get another Water Hades, or I'm gonna get my 4th Fire Shinobi. I'm still trying to decide what I want to get, honestly, because whatever I get, it's gonna get powered up. I'm thinking about probably getting a Wood Garuda, mainly because I don't have as many Wood mons, and I would like to actually help support my Wood Merlin a little bit more. So that's probably what I'm gonna get. And now for you endgame PvP players, well, like I said, Fire Valk is a great choice to pick. I think she'll still be a great unit for PvP, so if you wanted to get for a PvP unit, Fire Valk's the way to go. For water unit, well, the dominant Water Shiva currently rules over a lot of the killing all the Drakas on offense, and if you fully book a Water Shiva, that SP Siphon is huge with 3 turns of Thirst. So great unit. You also have your Water Arthur, which again is another morale booster with attack down, so that's really good. I don't feel like Water Nightmare is as good anymore because Water Shiva exists now, as he is now, but you could always run a Water Nightmare, still good. Water Persephone, still an amazing unit, especially when she's fully blood. Would 100% use her. I use her. A lot of people use her. A lot of defense teams have Water Persephone. She's just an amazing healer still. Currently in the meta, there aren't really any Wood mons used on defense, but if you have like a variant Merlin, Wood Indra's always a good choice because if you have him fully booked, he has 2 turn stuns, so he's still a really good unit if you have him fully booked. Other than that, yeah, that's just you could always go for a Wood Odin, but I feel like you might want a different kind of Odin because there's always Dark Odin with the Dark contracts later on, so you probably don't want to use her as much though. Wood Shiva is also a pretty good attacker for PvP offense, so if you want to use Wood Shiva, he's great for he has a lot of damage, 3,900 attack for a Wood unit with Predator and Seal, so it's actually not too bad of a unit as well to use. So Indra, Odin, Shiva. For the water ones, you could go Shiva, Arthur, Nightmare, or Persephone, and for the fire ones, well, it's just got a Fire Valk. But Fire Valk really does hold the fortress for a lot. Actually, you know, Fire Arthur is really good, but only if you have him fully booked. He's an amazing unit. If you have him fully booked, he is a very annoying unit to fight against, and he's great on Merlin comps. So yeah, so that's the units that I can think of so far. That's everything I can think of, and that is this whole video, guys. Me just going over all the units. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. I do have plans for another kind of video later on, but we'll have to wait in for that because I haven't had time to make that video yet. But as soon as I make that, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And until next time, guys, y'all have a good one, and peace.